Welcome back to the Couple of Pints podcast. We are at the Westin Hotel in Brisbane and we're going to talk about Thailand. We're joined by Harry and Ryan. These are lads that we met in Thailand, and I'm joined by George as per on this trip. Boys, welcome to the Couple of Pints podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Cheers. I can't reach, but okay, cheers.
I mean, I'm not sure what this glass is we're drinking out of, but we roll along with it. So when we got into Thailand, obviously you boys we were there for a lot longer than us.
Yeah.
Talk us through where did you guys go before we got into Thailand?
So we started in Bangkok.
Did you do Koh San Road in Bangkok?
We did, but we didn't do a night out. We were quite overwhelmed.
Yeah.
What else can we do at Koh San Road other than a night out?
We were recovering in Bangkok.
Yeah.
We chose Bangkok to use as a recovery place. I don't know why.
Bangkok for recovery.
Literally,
Yeah, I've heard it all now.
We went to Arctic Monkeys on one of the
Oh,
days.
yes.
Of course you did, yeah.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah, and
The typical Yorkshireman.
Yeah.
Supporting Yorkshiremen all around
Stick
the
me your
world.
own. Stick
then,
me your own.
basically, yeah. And then we just wandered about there, didn't we?
Yeah.
We didn't do loads in Bangkok, and then we went to Chiang Mai and then Pai, which were incredible.
Yeah. Chiang Mai and Pai, two unreal places.
Chiang Mai and Pai. Were you just going to places that rhymed with each other?
Literally, yeah. That's our whole trip.
Chiang Mai, Pai.
You got to rhyme it with the last place.
Yeah.
So when we went there, we went to Bangkok. We did a couple of nights in Bangkok.
Very different. It was not a chill time.
It was not a chill time.
Yeah.
All I saw was smog, dubious bars, scorpions on sticks, spiders on sticks, and buckets.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was just about drinking for us, wasn't it? Like a couple of days
Yeah.
just to go out, have fun.
Yeah.
It was a very social hostel. So
Oh,
went
we
out
stayed
both
in a
nights.
hostel called Mad Monkey, which
We stayed as well.
Oh, you see it? Is that
Oh,
what
you
you
stayed at
yeah,
Mad
yeah.
Monkey. How can you stay at Mad Monkey and not
Not
get
go out.
Literally,
completely
just walked
steamy?
out the hotel with our heads down.
Yeah.
There'll be like handless flies. Like,
No, not playing.
Mate, I mean, we went there and that one night, they lined up, there must have been 100 shots on the bar.
Yeah.
It was some sort of like Jaeger bomb style shot, but what
Yeah,
happened
we
was,
ran past that.
yeah, they've knocked them all in and like it's gone like a domino effect. He's been brilliant to watch. And then the reality struck me that I'm going to have to do one of them drinks in a minute. And I've gone to the bar and Sam was with us, Sam who was on the Vietnam podcast. And mate, I have never tasted two worse drinks in my life. There was a shot and like there was a chaser and like the shot itself.
It was like a bomb and a shot.
Yeah,
So,
a
like,
bomb.
there was
And so the bomb was like some sort of dubious like flavoured thing. And then the shot itself, I swear it was pure white spirit.
It was.
Right.
It was
strong.
vile.
yeah,
Um,
that's not great.
Yeah, so Koh San Road, I mean, it reminded me of Magaluf, to be honest.
It was just like a strip, yeah. It was like
Yeah.
a strip, loads of bars down it, loads of people, like packed out, like all the way down. Different music at each place, but like it was a good couple of nights out. Just
Yeah, I mean,
met
to be
loads
fair,
of
we
people.
met loads. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't go out with you when we were in.
Well, yeah, so yeah, we went out
Koh
together
San
and then
Road.
just ended up.
Yeah, I was with a pilot from New York, which is pretty classy. He used to be Rory McIlroy's pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hostel life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely about hostels you're into.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I say it was Rory McIlroy's pilot. He might have been the world's best sort of liar. You never know.
Yeah.
You're
But
wearing joggers. Like.
Yeah.
what do you want him to do? Wear captain's uniform at the bar?
the whole time.
Mate, to be fair, that would
Would you not?
absolutely be
If
the
you're a
best
pilot,
way.
would you not do that?
We're
I would
always
if I was a
go out,
pilot,
yeah,
yeah,
sure.
100%. Wearing the cap. I'll draw a line at the cap. But no, so we went out on Koh San Road and I just ended up in these weird bars with live music on. I went to this Irish bar and it was above what was, I think it was called the Weed Superstore. So
Nice.
you quickly reminded, oh hang on, we're not in Ireland, we're not at home, we're not in Britain.
Of course,
So yeah, I thought Bangkok was mental. I've since met people that live in Bangkok, English people, on this trip, and they're all like, you only saw Koh San Road. There's a lot more to Bangkok than that.
Yeah.
So
You spent 2 weeks in Bangkok. You might
Yeah.
really scratch your
it sounds to me like we probably need to go back to Bangkok at some point. But either way, we were there. It was short and sweet, 2 days
Yeah,
in
it was,
Bangkok,
yeah,
and then we had the pleasure of the trip to Phuket,
KPP.
Phuket for a night where we just literally relaxed and did some washing, and then
Nice.
we had the boat to Koh Phi Phi, which is the party island, and we met you guys. So before you met us, was there any stories from Chiang Mai or Pai or any other?
There's a few stories, Harry.
is.
What do you think? Is
Yeah,
it?
so like I said, Bangkok. So we just come from South Korea, and that will basically out every night.
Yeah.
So like I said, we chose Bangkok as a place to recover for some reason because we're was just tired.
Impressive.
constantly. Yeah.
To be fair, in South Korea, you did almost break your hand,
I did almost.
and
break my hand,
recovery was needed at that point.
Yeah.
How did you break your hand almost?
Um,
Didn't punch a wall, did you?
No, I decided at 8 o'clock in the morning, very drunk, coming back from the hostel, there was a hill and somebody had chucked an old office chair on the side of the road. So I thought, yeah, do you know what, I'm going to have a go down,
Yeah.
see how far.
Oh, nice.
No,
He's had a couple of drinks before
Yeah,
the podcast
yeah,
started.
yeah,
That's
so,
getting edited out.
Yeah.
more than a couple.
Tell me the start of that story again so we can get into
That's
that.
anything out, right, okay. Yeah, so in South Korea, and we were on the way back to the hostel about 8 o'clock in the morning, been out all night, and then there was a hill and somebody had chucked like an old office chair out, you know, with the wheels.
Yeah.
So me and him was actually arguing who were going first, and he was
Yeah.
upset that I went first. So I went first, and there is a video to this.
Yeah, we can send you the video if you
we
want
can
to
send
the
you the
podcast.
That, that might be going in the podcast, I'll be honest.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then I went down this hill, and then the bottom, I didn't realise there was like a little ridge kind of thing, and I went absolutely flying.
It went skidding, honestly, it went skittling.
Yeah, and
Skipping.
then I got like scars all over my hand and that.
No, well, I mean,
Good
at least you
story.
recovered.
Yeah, I think so.
And you'd recovered by the time we'd seen
Yeah,
you, so,
of course you would, yeah.
I mean, obviously, there was no wall punching or anything
Oh,
weird
we
like
had
that.
another 2 hospital visits by that point. By the time we met you guys.
Yeah, you did say
And
that.
how long was it from when you met us? So you had another one? Not
Yeah.
too long.
Yeah,
Not
literally.
too long, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
See
that.
ya.
Our
Yeah, we will.
visit's just been hospital.
So, yeah, we will come into that. So,
that's fine.
we got to Koh Phi Phi. So, Koh Phi Phi, for anyone that doesn't know where Koh Phi Phi is, it's south of Phuket in Thailand. It's effectively like a British party island. Is the only
Yeah,
thing that I
an
can
island,
see it as. I
yeah,
mean,
for sure.
I mean, it's basically like where every girl on Tinder and Hinge goes to get that great photo at Maya Bay, which was where they filmed The Beach with Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And they all have the same photo. And like, so we got to Koh Phi Phi, and obviously you arrive on the island and they want 20 baht off you straight away. They're like,
Literally,
yeah,
yeah.
come on, pay up. And I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that took us by surprise. We were like, this could be anybody.
Yeah.
Some
20
bloke,
baht, yeah,
some bloke, some bloke collecting money.
Yeah.
But no, I got a little receipt, and it said for the upkeep of the island. And I
I
was
didn't
like,
get a receipt.
did you not?
No,
I probably
You
gave it to
definitely gave it to a
The
fisherman.
random guy, yeah. Great night out, yeah.
But yes, so we got there, and my suitcase worked perfectly this trip. It's been brilliant. 4 wheels. It's been like, mate, it's like a Range Rover. It's
Well,
been
that's
beautiful.
like 2 weeks in. So
2
far,
weeks in,
yeah.
3 weeks in, worked perfectly. Get to Koh Phi Phi, and Koh Phi Phi's roads. Well, there's no cars on the road, so like, the roads are very narrow. The streets are really narrow, and you get these blokes with them like converted wheelbarrows, aren't they? Where they throw all the luggage for the hotels on, and then they put it over their shoulders and they start walking.
The shout beep beep to you as well.
Yeah,
It's-
There's no
yeah,
bells,
yeah.
it's go beep beep. Can't move.
But so these guys, I mean, I think we got there on a day where they were on strike, and I
Couldn't
was.
find any.
I said to George, and I was like, "Where are we going?" He was like, "Oh, it's about a 15-minute walk this way." I was like,
15
"It's a mile. It's a mile.
It
Great."
was a trek.
So I've walked with the suitcase, and I've got the suitcase on its back wheels, and I've been like pulling it along this awful road where it's just bouncing constantly. I'm like, something's not right here. I've had a look at the wheel, and the wheel's disintegrated, and so my mood was pretty woeful. 35-degree heat. He's dragging me all round some sort of dubious island that looks like Magaluf, but might as well not be. And we finally get to the street that we think our hostel's on, and George goes, "Oh no, we've missed the turning here. We've
Yeah.
missed the
We
turning."
did it
Because
thing,
it says there's a
It
road.
says
Yeah,
the road, but it's like
Yeah,
cordoned off.
yeah, they
isn't
were
it?
doing
Yeah,
like
we're on a road.
building
There's only
works
one
and
way of
stuff,
getting to that hostel. I mean, they say, "Oh, it's accessible by the beach." Well, that's inaccessible. If you've got a 25-kilogram suitcase, that's not accessible. So I've got to the to the beach, and I'm like fuming, dragging this thing over on no wheels at all now. Got to the reception. They're like, "It's 1,000 baht deposit." I just turned to George. I was like, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill everyone at this point." And it was doing my head in. And we come into the room, warm room,
Very warm.
no air conditioning in that room, and meet you guys.
We were
which-
there in our beds, just chilling.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, and
Well, I won.
oh no, you weren't. You walked in. I let you into
You
the
let me
room.
into the room.
Yeah.
Like so many times, and then you got pissed off at me straight away, like saying, "Do you not know? Do you not have your key?" Like, nah. But you had
keys were a wristband?
Yeah, but we didn't have the wristband.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got
No,
cards.
you had
Yeah,
proper keys.
yeah,
We
Yeah,
got the
yeah, yeah.
lanyard things that nobody wants to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. yeah, you do look cool in a lanyard, don't you, as a hostel
You
guest?
do, yeah. You look like
Trying to talk to girls with khakis, man.
looking
down.
like the FBI.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the one. That's why I asked them. That's why I asked them. They're like, "Do you want the wristbands?" Like, no.
Yeah, give us a couple of them lanyards. Come on. Yes, so we walked into the room. I mean, that room. Like, so on this trip so far, I can honestly say that room is the worst hostel room I've stayed in by some distance, because it was warm. It was like just crowded and cramped.
Yeah.
And yet we met you two, so. It really was awful. I cannot tell you how much I hated it. Yeah, no. To be fair, you were the only thing, and actually, your man Safi as well, the Brazilian guy that we didn't even know was staying in that room, because we saw him twice in there in 3 days. But yes, so we met you, and you were like, "Oh, have you been for food? Are you going anywhere out for a drink?"
Yeah.
Not knowing what you're letting yourself in for. It's like literally a full week of you're not losing us now. And then vice versa.
Just go up and
should plan to be asleep.
Yeah.
So,
I'll do it at 6 today.
Yeah.
So that first night we went out, and there was a power cut.
Yeah.
With young Will as well.
Young Will we met as well. So the power cut was due to an electrical storm, a lightning storm in the area, and we went to a cocktail bar, which seemed to be the only place on the island that had lighting.
Don't forget though, he had the best cocktails in the whole of Fifi.
He had
and
the
we
whole,
ordered by chance.
Yeah, five changs.
Yeah.
And mate, I mean, I felt bad for him because we walked in and he was effectively like Tom Cruise in the film Cocktail. He was there. I can do any cocktail.
He told us straight away. He said, well, I can do every cocktail. I'm the best in.
He's 5 menus here, 5 changs, mate. Please. Don't waste your time. Just get them out the fridge.
Thing is, we didn't even do it like 5 changs. We went round. Like,
Yeah, let's have a chang, one chang, one chang.
Left him on
Look
10.
at the menu. I'll have a
chang,
chat.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's there with like mango going. Chang.
So we sat there. That was, I mean, it was bizarre. Every other bar on that strip was without lighting.
He opened that shutter and turned lights back on. Like, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
So we didn't realise that when we left, and we decided to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Went
We
to
thought, there'll be
Night
other
Time,
places, and we shat there in the boiling heat.
Oh,
Was it like?
Well, we sat in the pissing rain in a Mai Tai arena with no roof, where we were drinking warm jangs
in the dark.
In the dark. But I think we had your phone light was on. It was like, okay,
that's all we had.
Living the dream.
And then one by one, everyone left, and we were like.
And we were just sat on our own.
Yeah,
and then the lights came back on. And you're like, where is everyone?
No, we went back to the bar, didn't we?
Yeah, we did go back.
We went back with our heads held down.
And they took us.
Asked for 5 more shots.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we went back to Cocktail Man.
Asked for 5 more shots.
Ruined his night even further.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've gone from him back to the reggae bar, which was the Mai Tai bar / arena. So this bar, for me, it's one of the strangest places I've ever been. You walk in and there's a boxing ring in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And the main event of the evening is whoever's pissed enough to get in the ring and try and have a fight with someone. As it was, none of us decided that we were ever at that limit. I think you were checking your travel insurance at one point. You're on the phone to the phone to the insurer. Am I covered for boxing abroad in a bar?
If I knew who I was fighting, I'd step up. But knowing my luck, I'd be fighting fucking Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Literally.
You just come over for an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that was the thing. It was like there was no due diligence done. There was no one checked to see. Have you ever fought before? Yeah, I'm a professional boxer. You know, that
And there was
didn't
some
happen.
fights where you could tell people had fought and other people hadn't. And it was brutal.
And there was some like heavyweight versus like bantamweight or something like what.
I mean, it was incredible to just sit there and take in. Was incredible. I mean, obviously, you had that fight between 2 women where one of them put the other one out of the ring.
Yeah,
But it's still
Both English, obviously, needless to say.
Yeah, well, saying they said there's no kicking allowed. It's boxing only, and they were kicking everything.
That was a fight for them.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think much, and then Michael Buffer turned up, and he was giving it, ladies and gentlemen, and I was like, oh, this must be decent.
This is a fight.
But yeah, it was bizarre, but again, it was an experience where you sat there and you're sort of pinching yourself, thinking, what on earth is going on around me, and how have I ended up in this bar?
Literally,
Yeah.
So we then next morning, obviously like best friends on holiday as a kid. You know, you said, "Oh, we've got mates now. We've got someone to do some activities with." Great. We decided to.
Had the worst full English in the whole.
Yeah,
life.
we decided to go and get some food, didn't we? Yeah.
It was the
not
worst
very
full English
well.
ever.
So
yeah, but things came around. How was it? Like, yep, really.
Yeah,
So you
really
two
good,
ordered you two and Will ordered the full English. Me and you had the breakfast burrito, which
We
was
had a
like
burrito,
an
yeah,
omelette
it was
with
alright.
like
Yeah.
a bit of bacon in.
It was like those tinned like hot dog sausages,
Yeah, they never
which were
do
cold.
like actual sausage.
Slightly cold as
Frankfurt,
well.
Frankfurt.
So
Yeah.
for me, that's like a full English for someone that's never even seen England, never mind
Yeah,
had
I'm
food in
That's not
England.
even the only part. So they have the Frankfurt sausage, cold beans,
Yes.
a bit of melon in
Melon,
there.
Yeah.
pineapple.
It was
Yeah.
so random, but it wasn't even nice. Like,
Nothing anywhere near to a full
There were,
English.
there were two bits of toast on both plates, and I think I turned to you and I was like, "They've cooked that in the street."
Yeah, it was warm bread.
Yeah,
It was
Virgin
warm
just put
bread.
it on the floor outside, and they were like, left it 5 minutes and went, yeah, no. Put it on a plate.
But the butter were melted. I don't
Yeah.
get
Butter's
like,
always
they
melted.
got it the wrong way around somehow.
You want melted bread, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I can't have fucking firm butter.
They put the butter in the toaster. That'll do, yeah.
But no, I mean, I think for me, the creme de la creme of that and the best of it was the fact that it came with a little German flag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
English flag in it, yeah.
Full English with a German flag.
Yeah.
You know, someone's not done history at school, have they, on
Literally,
that
yeah.
one?
But when they ask, best breakfast.
yeah, best.
Yeah.
I come here every day.
Yeah. Anything to improve? Now.
Yeah, I think we sort of
Changed hands.
exited.
It's changed hands.
Yeah, there was a mass exodus of that place as quick as we could when we went to the
Irish
Irish
bar,
bar,
yeah.
which turned out to be our second home in KPP, as
we
as it
spent
was.
basically
I
most
think
of our time.
of the like 60 or so hours we spent in PP from that point, we spent like 58 of them in that Irish bar.
Yeah.
And the other two in Slinky. So
Yeah. So we were there
We
for
knew
a
it was
long
fucking
time.
odd at one point. We were there going, Chan.
perfect.
But we got in there, and I think we were watching the F1 qualifying. Weren't
Yes,
we?
it was.
We
That
were
was
watching the
the first thing,
qualifying.
yeah.
There was a free pool table because for some reason all across Thailand, pool tables you don't put any money in. They're just
How it should be.
yeah.
it should be.
By the way, if Thailand's like got anything to offer the world, there's two things: 7-Eleven Toasties
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Free
free
pool.
pool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's maybe that's culturally inappropriate for me to say that's the only two things that Thailand have got to offer the world. I need to see more
There
of
is
the
a very
country.
good chicken sandwich in Pie that, and if anyone's in Pie, it's the best chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life. It's like a side street thing. Incredible. Sorry, I just put that out there.
Oh, I'm delighted. Do you know the name? You can shout them out.
No, it was like a street vendor. I've got a picture of it.
Right,
Again,
okay.
put that in the podcast.
Crack it. Well, we're on recording now. You know that.
Yeah. Why?
Put that in the podcast. Put that in the podcast.
Put that in the
Do you know what you should put in your podcast?
When did we start, by the way?
Oh, you didn't press record, George. No, so we've gone to this bar and tellies everywhere. Must be like 15 tellies around the room.
Yeah.
That was for me. That was perfect. We've obviously started our pool championship, which needs to be continued at some point.
Yeah,
Me and
Yeah,
George are
last
absolutely
goal
smashing you
scored
two.
wins. I mean, Harry won the last game.
We won last game, so
Well, no,
It's
that was
currently 3-1,
It's
I
3-1.
think.
It's
Yeah,
3-1.
No,
but- Really good
last
last game.
score wins.
we've improved.
That's why we need the
We're
next
improved.
game to sort that one out.
But yes, so that bar. I mean, obviously Villa played that day, Leeds played, and
The
Forest
first
played.
bit of bad
Do we have to
betting
bring
advice
this
you
up?
gave me.
Do we have to bring
What's
this up?
Back in Villa, Forest and Leeds on the same
on the
acre.
same game, yeah. On the same
I don't know, I don't bet.
Can we skip past this bit? Because it weren't great for us.
No, well, it was a bad day for Leeds.
Yeah,
It was
average
an
for
average
us,
day
yeah.
for Forest, and Villa came in and swept in. 11:30 kick-off in Thailand. We found two Villa fans at the bar. We were singing our hearts out at the bar with Villa beat Chelsea. It was phenomenal. What a day out that was.
We were in bed at that point.
I think you were sat at the bar drinking strawberry daiquiri out of a big bucket, to be honest.
Oh, strawberry daiquiri.
Iced
Frozen.
strawberry daiquiri,
Oh,
frozen
incredible.
strawberry daiquiri out of a bucket.
Some drink that.
The best,
Yeah, it
Some
was
drink.
good.
best drink.
It was the best one there.
So yes, so we've spent a lot of time there. I think was it that night where me and you? So we ended up in Slinky's, which was like a beach
Oh,
bar.
we did, yeah.
I think that was the second night.
Was it a second
one
night?
after.
I think so,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, it was. No, it
The
was.
first night we
Yeah.
all
No.
went to that kebab shop
No,
together.
it was after Leeds game because I've got a video when I'm wearing a Leeds top. And you-
No, it was the first.
that the
it was the
we
first,
went to pizza
first night we
place
went to
one
the pizza
time.
place.
Yeah,
yeah.
And
Yeah.
You had like
we went to
18
pizza-
Hey, you
pizzas.
bought the whole fucking
You
shop.
went to this pizza place and you don't remember this,
No, I can't
but I will
remember.
tell you now. You literally turned to the bloke and like for every one slice you bought, he chopped it in half and you had two. So I bought 2 slices thinking I was getting 2
Yeah.
slices and I got 4. You said to him, "I'll have 8," and he went,
That's
he went,
16
he went, "Are you
slices of
sure?"
pizza.
And you went, "Yeah." and you've paid him for 16, and you've walked around with this bag of pizza.
You had a bag of
for
pizza,
a good couple of hours. Like,
Yeah.
giving it that, do you want a slice of pizza?
Literally, on the beach outside the hostel, anyone who walked past,
Anyone
"Do you want
wants a pizza, yeah."
anyone pizza.
Literally, like, you became Domino's, like one-man Domino's. It's quite bizarre, but yes. So the food options obviously are quite similar to be back home. But Slinky's is a beach place. We've got the mechanical bull in the middle of it. The mechanical bull. So the situation with that was that if a man rides it naked, he gets a free bucket of drink, and if a girl rides it with the top off, she gets a free bucket of drink.
And Nick paid for
We
single
saw-
drink all night.
Nick got 5 free buckets.
Not close. I did not get on the mechanical bull, and my lawyers will be in
He
touch
did get
with both
naked.
of
He
you.
did get naked though. Don't know why. No idea why.
I'd fill a shot on, mate. I'd fill a shot. Nothing else. I'd fill a shot on. But we've sort of we've watched like everything go on. People wearing clothes, and then out of nowhere, of course he was English. Some bloke just starts stripping off and goes and gets on. I mean, mate, it's quite funny because he must have lasted 10 seconds on there because as soon as he's got
But it's
anywhere near that ball.
Can we be respectful? Stand right there, Jesus.
As soon as he's got on the ball, the bloke is giving it the he's gone. He's throwing him off like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that was, I mean, it's just bizarre. Like that whole concept was bizarre.
You won't get with that in Wetherspoons, would you? We're not going to do that in Wetherspoons at all.
No, you would, but without the ball.
Yeah, you probably would, yeah.
You just get some bloke who starts stripping off. And what's Dave doing?
Pretends to be on the ball. Whee.
Get off that table, pal. Come on.
Alright, mate, get off.
Someone's ordered chicken and chips. You dirty bastard.
I'm trying to eat you. Get off the table.
Yes, so we've got away from there. Next morning we've got up, and this brings us onto our theme of medical emergency. We've decided that we're going to have a chilled day. It's a Sunday. We'll have a chilled day. We've gone into the sea. The sea, by the way, was the warmest sea I've ever been in.
100%.
And the beach was all right, a bit shingly, a bit like
Never got deeper, did it? The water never got deeper.
We walked out like a 200 metres out and we're still not getting
But
deep.
we've got in the sea, and the sea was like, so for the first 100 metres, great, like you could walk in a straight line, there's no stones or anything. Then for the next 100 metres, it was like a bleeding death trap.
Yeah,
it was like,
everywhere,
I think I stacked it, and you were all laughing.
did,
You go, look at him, what a dickhead!
Yeah,
Look at him, he's gone flying.
And then one by
And then one by one, you quickly realised, oh, hang on, maybe he's
stones
right.
everywhere,
What is
yeah.
going on here? And like it was like you had nothing, and then this like probably the size of this table, of like a boulder.
Literally,
And you wouldn't see it coming. You just smash your foot into it and go,
I mean, you say you wouldn't see it, like the water is as
water's
clear
clear,
as you could ever
the water's
see.
clear,
like,
but the
you-
moment you
Who
step
walks
in.
with a head down?
Yeah, you got to look where you're going to be
Yeah.
able
We're
to see
throwing a
it.
tennis ball now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, you've got to be committed to the catch.
Yeah,
You've got committed.
No
like-
matter what, you've got to catch the ball.
Yes, so
Very Flintoff were watching.
he was there. So we've all been sort of playing this game of catch with the tennis ball. You've decided to go rogue, and you were like going deep mid-wicket.
well out,
You were well out
The thing
there.
is, I went well out there, and I was still like knee deep.
Yeah, it
I
was
like,
not-
what's
yeah,
going
not-
on here?
yeah.
I wanted to get shoulder deep, so I could like dive and stuff.
So and I think it was me that threw the ball. I thrown a ball at you, and you've gone, and you've caught the ball. You've remained committed to it, but you've clearly took a step onto a sea urchin.
Yes, I did.
And the noise that you created, the whole beach was looking at you, and I was like, something ain't right here. Like, is there a shark? Is there a shark nearby?
I
Like,
didn't tickle, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's
no,
like-
I gathered because straight away you were like, what the f- was that?
Yeah.
And that was interesting. So was it a sea urchin first
It
and
was,
foremost?
Yeah, so basically I was still a Nick sea urchin, but the thing is I had to walk a mile back to,
Yeah, it
to the
was,
beach.
yeah.
So, surprised I didn't stand on another one because there were that many rocks in that and I was like hobbling.
You were hobbling, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, so we've got back to the beach, and I mean,
and then
as soon as you've had that injury, I've turned to the other side. Like, I ain't feeding this catch game anymore.
Yeah, but then you were like so sympathetic that you started playing a game of throw the ball in the bin, and I
No,
was
no,
like,
no.
sat in
Hang on, it was beer pong,
But with
dustbins.
Yeah. And I
Which
was
me and
sat
Nick
in
won,
the
by the
bar.
way. Which me and Nick
It
won.
was-
Some strange
a phenomenal
rules going
performance, by
on.
the
I won
way.
about 3 times, but apparently there's some new rule
Oh,
about they
I
get
see.
another go and then
No, it's
Redemption shot, redemption shot.
Redemption shots
Redemption
exist.
shots,
I
yeah,
mean,
something like
check the rule book,
To be fair,
mate.
redemption shots, yeah.
They do exist, and guess what? Every time that he thought he'd won, I threw in an ace, and he was giving it a, oh well, okay, back to it.
Well, I missed all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So at that point, I mean, yeah, sorry,
No, it's fine.
just
Go on
sort of,
tangent, it's
just
fine.
raining on your parade for a second there. So I mean, you want to be injured, it's your fault.
Just
So you went and sat at the bar, and you were like asking everyone at the bar
Yeah, because
for advice on what to do.
There was this English woman who worked there, and she were, you need to soak your foot in with my heels, and you soak it in warm water. I'm like, okay, have you got anything to soak it in? And they didn't have anything apart from the buckets that you drink out of. So she filled that with hot water, and I was sat in the bar.
They used the same bucket later on in the day to give someone a Jack Daniels and Coke.
They did, yeah. Probably me as well. Yeah, and they were like, so they give me that, and I had my foot in water, and everyone were drinking, and I would just sat there with my foot in a bucket. And then she was like, you need to hit it with something. I'm like, what? She was like, you need to go and hit it with something because it like breaks it all.
And was she a registered medical professional?
She didn't have a hat, like a nurse hat on.
A nurse?
That was it. No, she didn't. And then, so I had to go in the shower, and the only thing I could find was a shampoo bottle. So I was in the shower. Yeah, I was in the shower. Like, if anyone walked past, I was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Just."
We had the door open.
No. And then I was like, had the water on me, and I was like hitting my foot with the shampoo bottle, like the lid, because the other bit's like flimsy. So I was hitting it with the lid. Probably broke the shampoo bottle and the thingy.
I'll be honest, I didn't know that bit.
Oh, did you not? Yeah.
I did not know that bit.
Because everyone was telling me to hit it with something. I was like, okay.
All I know is that you just sat there with your foot in a
bucket of water.
But no, the water, and then water was the first step.
So what happened after that?
So I was like, right, it still hurts, so I need to go to the pharmacy. So I went to the pharmacy, and the receptionist were like, she gave me this leaflet, and it said you need to soak it in warm water and vinegar. And I was like, okay, does it need removing or anything? She was like, no, just soak it in thing. She kept saying, I didn't know what she was saying, but she kept saying bacteria.
Did you say removing your foot or?
Yeah, the whole foot's No, like, do they need removing? She was like, no, bacteria. And I was like, that doesn't sound great. So anyway, I went and paid 40 baht for like a flowery tub that I was never going to use again. And then I went to the 7-Eleven and I bought what I thought was vinegar. Anyway. So I had to hobble
prawn sauce with it.
Yeah, I had to hobble back to the hostel, and I was talking to this Welsh guy that I was talking to before. And so I got hot water in this bucket, and I was like, about to put this in. He was like, mate, I don't think that's vinegar. And I was like, what do you mean? And he like got it. He went like that. He like drank it a bit. He went, that's not vinegar, that's prawn sauce. And I'm like,
prawn sauce.
Like prawn soy sauce or something. Like, you joking? He was like, and he was absolutely wetting himself. So I had to hobble back to the 7-Eleven, buy some vinegar. And then
Harry the prawn cocktail at this point.
And then I had to like soak my foot in warm water and vinegar while you were all like, I don't know what you were doing.
We were still playing beer pong on the
beach. We got to the Irish bar by this point.
Oh, we might have done. No,
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Now just
yeah.
So I was sat drinking with these Welsh lads, and to be fair, it was quite a laugh. But and then anyway, like if it was still, I left it at that because she was like, oh, they don't need removing. So anyway, we saw you in Copan Yam, and then it was still hurting, and then. I went to the medical guy, and he was like, the doctor, and he was like, yeah, you should have got these removed straight away. What? So we had to literally, because they were like embedded in my foot, so we had to literally like get these pliers and carve into my foot and pull out. I'm not joking, there must have been about 50 of them. And
welcome to the medical podcast.
Yeah, so
to be fair, since then we've seen a sea urchin in a hotel.
Yeah,
and they are.
Yeah,
we saw them.
So we did some when we did some snorkeling. Like people were like, don't step on the floor. There's like sea urchins everywhere. So I've had a quick look and I was like, definitely not happening because I knew how much it hurt you. I was like, I ain't going anywhere.
They're huge. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But the sort of water in hotel was similar to that in Fifi. And I'm surprised all the things on a
they
were everywhere.
They were literally everywhere.
Yeah, when you put the snorkel on and you look down, they were literally there were loads of them.
So surprised that obviously you didn't step on them, but me again when I'm walking out because we had to walk them out to get back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I swam that mile back.
Yeah, like that. I still got a few embedded in my foot, but I think they're just staying there now.
Yeah, get them tattooed.
The doctor were like, they'll fall out.
They'll fall out.
Will they? They're like literally in my foot.
What, into your shoe?
Yeah, and then I'll stand back on it. Yeah.
So you had a lovely experience on that day, and
yeah, that was
I mean, you soaking your foot in prawn sauce was that was for me one of the highlights of Thailand.
Thanks to the Welsh guy because
nearly did.
Yeah, he saved me there.
So in Koh Phi Phi, there was another day. Obviously, you guys had a boat trip booked.
Yeah, we did.
What was the score with that?
They just turned around and cancelled on us. Literally.
It was last minute as well.
Yeah,
to be fair, you were out with us, and we've walked past the guy, and I think he was an Australian guy, and he was like, "Hi guys, we've got 4 spaces left for tomorrow. 4 spaces." And I was like, I turned to George, I'm not falling for that rubbish. And then I think you two were like, "Oh, well, we better book them quickly."
Literally, I think it was unlimited alcohol. So that's our selling point.
Yeah.
And
So
then
he said that,
he
like-
turned around and goes, "Oh, we cancel your trip."
Because as soon as you two booked it, they're like, we haven't got enough booze. So,
Yeah, but like they're like, "Oh, $100 more or $100 more, sorry. You can book this boat with no free booze and do the exact same tour." And we were just like, "Wait a second, how does that work out?"
More for the no boost.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't want to miss, mate. Thank you.
Is that the day when we were really hungover and that guy
Yeah,
kept
it
saying,
was,
you
yeah.
really need a bucket?
Yeah.
We kept walking, and this guy like trying to sell us a bucket, and it was like, you look like you need a bucket, and me and him were like,
Literally
"Alright,
water in his hands.
Water in his hands,
White
like
as-
dying.
white as all,
And he was like, you need a
literally.
bucket. And we're like, we do not need a bucket. Leave me alone.
so that boat trip got cancelled.
Yeah.
So it was another day in the Irish bar with us.
We went on the viewpoint. With
Yeah,
that
but
day.
we
did the
did
viewpoint, yeah.
something cultural, and on this podcast, I'm very passionate about us doing cultural things when we go out and about.
Sure.
So we went and we did a walk. It was like 3,000 steps.
Yeah, thanks for
In
that, by the way.
that was
Very
33
appreciated.
degree heat. And by the way, when you get to the top, there's a little man in a hut who goes, "By the way, you need to pay for that."
Yeah.
mate."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Mate, that's a rip off." But you know, I'm
It was
not
about
walking back
20p,
down there.
I reckon it was.
At least you were wearing trainers, where I stupidly went up in sliders, and it tore my feet to bits.
You two went up thinking that you were going on a walk on a beach, I think.
Yeah.
I thought we were.
Yeah.
No one said view.
That's what it was sold as. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are we taking stairs to a beach?
So we've got up there, and you get to viewpoint one, and I mean viewpoint one's like what 250 steps, something like that. So you get there, and that's okay. And then it says, "Yeah, did you?" Believe me, I did.
I wonder what you were doing.
But then we've got to viewpoint one, and it says viewpoint two, 350 metres that way. And you think 350 metres? I mean, like 400 metres is a track,
Yeah.
so that's not far. So this
It's
can't.
doable.
Yeah, it's very doable, mate. You think that's easy? And I remember doing like probably the 38th or 39th flight of stairs that we saw on this ridiculous like trek, and I was thinking, someone's lying on their signs here. They're doing this to get tourists to go and lose
Halfway in
weight.
there were another sign with the exact same distance to the
it was-
viewpoint.
Yeah, no, like,
Viewpoint to 350
Promise we weren't
metres.
going in circles.
Yeah.
Like, we were walking straight there.
Yeah.
Crystal,
we
Crystal also
had to pay
knows
20
this.
back again because we went round. I stood there going, mate, come on.
So we got there, and we got to the top, and you got this viewpoint two, and basically viewpoint two was the same as viewpoint one, but about 100 foot higher. So your view was virtually identical to what you had.
We did get a Magnum now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well,
And we
to be
saw the
fair,
most British
right,
man ever.
Yes.
so we saw the most British man I've ever seen. I turned to you, I bet his name's Barry.
Yeah.
Because he had his shirt off, and he was sunburnt like hell, bald head, and he was eating a Solero.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even buy Soleros, could you?
No, you couldn't buy.
No.
mate,
He brought
there were no
them.
Soleros
He
in the
brought
shop.
them.
He bought his own Soleros.
With his can of Carlin as well.
I'm not eating any of their rubbish. I'm bringing my own Solero because he was clearly northern.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bit.
But he's had the Solero, and you're thinking, I fancy an ice cream. And I turned to you both. I was like everyone's got an ice cream here, and I was pouring with sweat. We got a great picture of us four, by the way. On
Oh,
the,
very sweaty.
pouring with sweat, and I was thinking, I need an ice cream. You two have gone for like a mini Magnum, which was about 18 quid.
Yeah.
And as well. Like 2 bags, wasn't it? With daft.
And me and George have ended up with like a Oreo cornetto,
it was
which was
cornetto,
pretty
yeah.
good. But for me, the highlight of that trek up to the top of that viewpoint was the ice cream,
Oh,
which
yes.
is mental because it was quite a nice view.
Yeah, I was going to say, the view
But-
was good.
Yeah.
But
My feet were in bits.
It's
I
one
was
of
just
those
knackered.
where you've been once, you'll never go
I
again.
couldn't appreciate it because my feet was gone. I had to take my sliders off halfway up.
I'll go to Fifi tomorrow, I won't do that.
I haven't done it. Seen it.
Yeah, see,
I'd got the Irish bar again and the Mai Tai bar again, but I wouldn't go to that bleeding
Yeah.
viewpoint again for no reason. I mean, although it did strike me when we were up there, how does that shop at the top get the ice creams from the bottom to the top without them melting?
Barry brings them.
yeah.
Barry brings them up.
You can get a Solero from England to Thailand. Right, melting. So you can
It's.
do
I
that.
mean, it just was
Just sat out playing with
ridiculous.
Solero. I'm saving this bad boy.
This is for Fifi. This is for that viewpoint.
Going to talk anything to declare?
Yeah.
Nah, sweating, sweating Solero
Is
out.
that Solero?
He's got his 24 case of Carlin in his backpack. Not drinking that foreign look.
So you two didn't get on a boat trip in the end. Me and George did get on a boat trip
did,
the day after the day you guys left. Actually, you guys went to
yeah,
Copenhagen, and we got on a boat trip. And that boat. So the people on our boat were pretty like, what's the word? I mean, it wasn't a drinking boat. They were all quite sensible. Most of the people on our boat, and
I
yet
know
you
you
had,
two.
well, and us too, yeah. But you had a guy who cut his foot open jumping off the front of the boat to start with, because there was the front of the boat, there was like a little hatch at the front where he said, oh, you can get up there and you can jump off the front. What he didn't mention was the fact the little hatch had a little lock which had a sticking up piece of like metal there, and this English guy has jumped on and he's gone straight into it, and like his foot was like wide open. He's like, again, I mean, we mustn't call this podcast casualty this week, but this guy is like had his foot wrapped up, and I was thinking, oh right, okay, this is the injury boat, is it? I've decided to follow suit. I've gone snorkeling, come out from snorkeling, and got onto the boat. And as I've gone with the tide to try and pull myself up onto the boat, I've pulled myself and my left leg into the blade of the starter motor on the back of the boat. So the outboard motor on the back of the boat. So that cut that open. So my knee was cut open. I was like, cracking, I'm not going back in the sea now. And then an Irish girl did exactly the same with her foot. She went to grab herself in, she put her foot down, her foot went onto the outboard motor, she sliced her foot open. The attitude towards health and safety, I mean, by the way, you two went on you were going to go on a booze cruise type thing where you all jumped in?
Yeah, we'd have probably died.
Yeah, I'm pretty, I mean, like I said, we didn't go on the booze version, and all I could think was, imagine being absolutely arseholed.
This pod would be called Remembering Ryan Harry. That is what it would be called.
Remembering Ryan Harry.
In dedication.
Yeah, little like credits at the end. In memoriam, Ryan and Harry. But this is the thing. So like for me, I mean, their attitude generally in Thailand and across Southeast Asia towards health and safety. There's no HSE. There's no health and safety executive in these places. So you have to sort of think for yourself. But I still, never mind that. Like I enjoyed what we did. I mean, we tried to go to Monkey Beach on that speedboat.
Apparently there are no monkeys.
The speedboat got beached.
That was the first time.
That was the first issue. So they've gone full speed ahead towards this bay, and they've gone. Driver's gone full pelt, and like the guy's just gone no, and like you're like, do they know what they're doing? And he's gone full pelt, and it's gone, and you're thinking, we're not going to leave here. We're going to stay by Monkey Bay for the next few days. And he's got it out of there. We've got the Maya Bay, which is again, not so where all the Instagram photos are taken for everyone.
Did you both get one?
Of course we did.
Of course.
Yeah. Hey, when in Rome.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
What top were you wearing?
I was wearing an England shirt that day.
Yeah, of course, it's a football top, no doubt. Yeah, 100%. It was
Well,
going to
you've
be.
got to be
No, it's up
cultural.
in the wash, yeah?
Well, you know, I mean, Leo DiCaprio was there. He didn't wear an England top or a USA top, so I had to, you know,
You're
Represent.
the first person.
exactly. You know, you've got to represent when you're abroad. So we went there. We've done all that stuff, and we've then gone from Maya Bay, and we've gone snorkeling, done some snorkeling, and then we've got to the end of the day, and we've sat watching the sunset so that we could all jump back in the sea to see the plankton. Oh, and by the way, the guy who was literally doing this boat started off the day. He was quite normal. Like, I say normal. He was quite like strict on everything. He was just like, "No, get on my boat now. We're leaving. 10 minutes. We're gone." And to be fair, to the minute, it was 10 minutes. Then about after I think we went to Maya Bay, he started smoking. But it wasn't a cigarette he was smoking.
Of course.
He must have had a spliff this big. He was there.
That's him.
And he's cracked on with it, and he's 10 minutes. He kept going, oh, we stay here for 10 minutes. And I was like, to George, I've been here half hour already. Like, what's he doing? Like, 10 more minutes. And it constantly like went like that. So as the day went on, he got more and more high. I mean, he got out them chocolate koalas. What are they called?
Biscuit things.
There's like chocolate koala biscuits in Thailand. They're amazing. You must have had them.
No, I lived off 7-Eleven.
They're like panda biscuits, aren't they?
Pandas, yes. So like pandas or koalas, and he's got out a tub of these, and I've turned to George and I was like, he's going to be fuming in a bit. He's handed out all his munchies.
Yeah.
It's then like this guy was like, oh, take him. Yeah, and you're thinking, yeah, I know what's going on here. So we've had all that, and then the day has like ended. The sun has gone down, and we've ended up like, oh, everyone back in the sea. We're going to look at the plankton. We're going to look at the plankton. And I was thinking, so I've seen photos of plankton on Google. If you Google plankton in Thailand, you see these like the beautiful photos of people in the sea doing this, and you get like this blue glow that comes up, this blue-green glow, and it comes up. You go, oh wow, that's amazing, it's beautiful. And that's what I was expecting. Everyone's going to jump in the sea. They'll splash about a bit, and it'll all just glow. what happened was everyone jumped in the sea, everyone splashed about a bit, and all you saw was nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You say this from your position sat on the boat,
Yeah,
not
I
in the sea.
wasn't on the boat.
did you not go in the sea?
Yeah, no,
I went in the sea.
mate.
I could see the plankton.
Is that because of your foot?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
because of my knee. But by the same token, the guy on the boat who just like smoked himself 15 zoots that day has grabbed a load of water. I mean, whether he should have done this or not, he's got 2 buckets full of water and he's just gone, watch. And he's poured the water onto the boat, and you saw the plankton there. And I was like, is that it? And he went, yeah, that's exactly what you see in the water. And I was like, I wouldn't have bothered. Well, we could have gone back to the pub. Do you know what I mean? Like, we could be in the pub right now. There's literally an Irish bar over there, and you're making me see like a little bit of a spark of plankton. Phenomenal. One of the most natural.
I think it was
beauties
probably
in the world.
cooler in the thing. Like it was like you were surrounded by like kind of like a glitter. It wasn't like a big glow. It was just like surrounded by glitter.
Yeah.
Like there were loads of it, and like as soon as you moved, like it all lit up. But it wasn't like the pictures in terms of like a big glow in the sea. Like it was just like around you. I think it was still quite cool, but Nick's not a snorkeler. He's
I am not a snorkeler. That is very,
Not
very.
his
I've seen
vibe.
some videos.
Not his vibe.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not a
I've seen
snorkeler.
videos. Of it,
Yeah, cheers. So that was our last day. We then joined you guys in Koh Phangan.
Yeah.
7-Eleven Toasties obviously got us through Koh PP. 7-Eleven Toasties then joined us again in Koh Phangan.
Of course.
How good are 7-Eleven Toasties, by the way?
Oh,
just to point that
You
out.
can't beat them.
Yeah,
Literally
it's
unparalleled.
like, it's just the 7-Elevens here and they don't have them. It's like, what?
Thailand have got the golden
Here
ticket.
in Australia, let's
And
just
they
point
keep
out
it
where we are.
Yeah.
They've got the golden ticket in Toasties, and they're keeping it a secret.
It's
It
weird
could
because like,
dominate the
before we went to Thailand, George was like,
I kept telling you,
I've seen
I kept
TikTok
telling you.
videos about
Yeah.
Thailand. We're all eating Toasties. I was like,
Yeah.
look at that.
The first one I had was
mate.
the sausage one, and I was like, what's the hype here? And then like,
Yeah, the sausage one's not the same.
yeah, the sausage one, none of them are the same.
It's just the ham and cheese.
The one sold out ham and cheese in one, everyone were like fuming.
Yeah, that's the problem. Whenever
Yeah.
you go to a 7-Eleven, you go, oh, there's been loads of people already. All the
Yeah.
ham and cheese ones are gone.
Yeah.
You now got to look at that. Like, there's like 30 different options.
Yeah, and it's just like, no.
Everyone
you
knows
don't
the
want
ham
it.
and
You
cheese
don't
is
want
the
cheese.
one.
I had
Yeah.
ham, cheese, and spinach once, and it was literally just spinach.
I had like a pulled pork one
What
once,
was
and
it?
it was just
There
like
was- there
sour
was,
cream. That's all you
yeah,
could taste.
There was a custard one.
Yeah, they did a
She said
chocolate
sweet
one.
and savoury.
Yeah, it was
Toasties.
like any flavour you could
Oh,
imagine.
that
they were
custard
all
one.
there.
Yeah, I never tried
That
that.
weren't right.
I don't think I want to try that.
No,
Yeah.
No.
I don't think that would have made it far.
No.
Yeah.
So-
I had a spicy burger as well, which was spicy.
The burgers
I found it
were,
again.
yeah,
I
very
found it
good.
again after actually.
No, I don't know what it was, but
It
it was
was
the spiciest
banging, it was
thing I've ever had
nice.
in my life.
So the day we got to Koh Phangan, Koh Phangan is obviously famous for the Full Moon Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jungle pie.
Yeah. So you guys went to the jungle party.
Yeah.
That was the night Leeds played Forest. You guys decided we're not going to go and watch the football. You're going to go to the jungle party.
Yeah.
I wish I had done the same.
I mean,
yeah.
as it goes, George, I understand exactly why you thought that.
Yeah.
Feel a bit Leicester that night, so I was happy for you. So you two, how was the jungle party?
It was an experience. Yeah,
It was good actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it.
It was just a rave or what?
Pretty much,
It had
yeah.
all sorts, 'cause, like you walked in and there were people, like before you went in, there were
Body
people,
paints
body
everywhere.
paints, you know, like glowing body paint and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you walked in and there was like a Muay Thai fighting thing that you could sit and watch if you wanted to. Then there was like a big stage at the bottom, there was something else going on, like a VIP room, I don't know what it was. I ended up going there for a drink, I don't know how I got in, but I got there and got a drink. And then like a big like stage and then like a big area where everyone was, and yeah, it was good, really good, I enjoyed it.
Anything
A
else
lot
to
of people
add?
do say that jungle pie is better than the
Yeah,
Full Moon
I've
pie.
heard of
Yeah.
that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only the
Everyone
fact
said
we got
that,
there
yeah.
very
I'm more-
late on the Tuesday.
We got there late on the Tuesday. Villa were playing, Forest were playing, so it was like, oh, we want to watch the
I think the
football.
thing is, like the jungle party was more set, like everyone knew where to go.
Yeah, literally
like,
a zone
the
to
full,
go.
The
Yeah.
full moon party, you could just be anywhere.
Yeah.
You could literally walk half a mile down the beach and be in completely.
See, I enjoyed the Full Moon pie. I was very drunk, but I enjoyed it.
So you guys went to the jungle party, the full moon party the next day. So we all went to the full moon party. So me and George made a point of buying an awful shirt to go with. So we went over to a market.
Oh, you wanted Villa top?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
That awful top. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting looks now. I'm getting kicked off his podcast.
Get out.
Thanks for watching the Couple Pints podcast. Ryan's unfortunately not going to join us the last 10 minutes.
Edit all your bits out.
Yeah. So as it was, we went and bought these Hawaiian shirts from the supermarket opposite, which cost us about £1.60 each. It was ridiculously
nice
cheap.
tops. Nice tops.
How much did you pay? 300 for two.
Yeah,
we
it was,
paid 300 each. We're terrible.
I'm wearing mine out like every night now.
I don't
It's
blame
amazing.
you. I completely don't blame you.
No, it's alternate. One night Hawaiian top, one night Villa top. Obviously, the switch.
The England shirt gets to run out as well.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, of course it is.
But realistically, so we got these shirts, and I was thinking, I love the dogs. I love the dogs now. I've got a Hawaiian shirt. This is the bollocks. This.
All the thing you were missing were a hat.
So we got to the Full Moon Festival.
I bought him one.
And well, you already had. So you had.
You bought me something.
You had your you had
the
Hawaiian
body
shirt,
paint.
but you decided you were gonna unbutton yours, and you had buy 7-Eleven Toasties on the front of your,
I don't know why.
your chest.
You bought me the 7-Eleven.
So I bought you the 7-Eleven logo
on my bag.
for your back. I mean, by the way, it was drawn by a man that clearly hadn't seen the 7-Eleven logo himself.
You told me it looked good. I can't see my
Oh yeah. If I had said to you, oh, by the way, that's shite, that is, you would have put the shirt back on.
An 8 somewhere. 8
till 12. Yeah, that's the 8-12 Toasties. But I've bought that. You've returned the favour by buying me a hat.
Yeah.
The hat was luminous, yellow, blue,
You still
green.
got the hat?
No, I think I gave it you.
No, you didn't.
I did. I definitely gave it you in the taxi on that night. So
I can't remember.
if you haven't got it, that's your own problem. And when Couple of Pints podcast goes massive, you're going to regret not having that hat.
I don't want it today.
So we've obviously got to the Full Moon Festival, and it was just a load of beach bars with all their speakers aimed towards the beach, and it was just chaos.
That live location film was probably the best thing.
Yeah, that's what people advised me to do.
WhatsApp locations for all of us, right?
And it helped you find. So if you got lost, you just find them straight away.
Although it weren't
you
great.
me saying, where are you? Like, look at my live location.
Yeah, Glenn,
and you was like, that doesn't help. What do you want me to do
I
then?
had 10% battery. All you had to say was I'm at this bar, and then you were like, look at my location. I had 10% battery. And I was
don't want to waste it.
The amount of photos off YouTube of different bars in the background, and you're like,
here I am. Yeah,
I'm here.
He was very drunk.
He lost his sunglasses, and I was not with him at this point. And then I was sat on the beach, and I found these sunglasses. I've got a photo with these sunglasses on, and I must have chucked them back on the beach or something. I'll give them to somebody, and they were like, "They're my sunglasses." And I
yeah, 2 days later as well.
Yeah, 2 days later.
Look at the pictures.
And I was like, "They're my sunglasses."
Well, the sunglasses there. Where do they go?
Yeah. No, there's some random guy now.
So the thing is, so we've obviously gone through the scenario in the Full Moon Festival where we lost each other.
Yeah.
And the issue when you lose people is that when you're walking to find them, they're also walking to find you.
Yeah.
So you end up with this situation where you almost certainly walk past them, looking at your phone, going, "Oh, it says he's in the sea."
Yeah.
And then a couple of times I was like, "Why is Ryan in the sea?"
To fair, probably will.
Well, as it was, how was the boat party? But we've sort of you've got noise from all angles. You've got EDM, trance.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could walk past like a EDM thing, and then all of a sudden
the next bar, every bar was
it's like a remix.
You can have EDM in one bar, and then you walk past the next bar, and you got "Use Somebody" by Kings of Leon.
Yeah, but it's a good remix.
It's going on.
Yeah, if you stand in the middle of it though, it's like wow.
But I mean, for me, the biggest thing with that is when nature calls.
Nature just
you are on a beach
when you're drinking,
and obviously you've had a few jangs, you've had a few buckets. You need to find somewhere to go and have a wee.
And I'm prepared to lose you guys.
I gathered.
To go to the bar.
No, and I mean, are the Thai authorities still after you? Or?
I think they are, yeah, but I'm in Australia now, so we're okay because.
Right, okay.
No
so I mean, to be fair, I went for a wee in the sea before he did, so I sort of stitched him up drastically. I don't think you guys even know this.
No, I went to the bar.
I went to like a random alleyway.
Yeah, I went. Okay, so we've got levels of this. I went to a bar to use the toilet. You used the like an alleyway, and then 2 of these over here.
Well, no, I
used
the
ocean. I saw it was like a men's urinal. Literally,
it was. It was close, and I mean, I even looked to the next bar. Right, mate.
Someone's very close to you.
You got the whole seat.
Yeah, all the way down.
No,
what are you doing, pal? But it was, and you've got to go. Where's the toilets? And I went, mate, there's a sea there. And I was like, I'm going to stitch him up something proper. So you've gone and had a wee in the sea. I've got a photo of you stood next to the sea about to
He's
have
got
a
my
wee.
back belly, not next.
Yeah,
not the
Yeah,
front,
obviously, I mean,
just the
it
back.
wasn't,
Yeah.
mate, it wasn't VAR footage, 15 angles, it was one angle
a video.
of your back. And I thought the next day, I was like, I'm going to have to get him, So I've like, photoshopped the image with, like, anyone that's been caught is, death penalty in Thailand for pissing in the sea. I mean, and who was it? It was him. Was it him who believed it?
No,
It's
no,
not,
it
it
was
was you.
I was
You believed it.
I was hungover as fuck, but I was kind of like still drunk, and I'm like, fuck, man. Because the photo, like, the photo like grainy as fuck, so it looked like
It was,
I don't know,
yeah.
It looked like
grainy.
CCTV, didn't it?
Yeah, CCTV on a beach. Like looking back, what the fuck am I on about? Yeah.
But from
Thing
them
is, I
bars.
knew it was fixed. I could tell from where I left you guys. That's where the picture was taken from.
Yeah.
That's why I was too worried. And there's Harry Red going, we're going to have to leave the country. We're going to have to go.
Get out.
I didn't say that. But I was like, I was on top of my bed and they were asleep still, and I was like, oh fuck. And then you looked at it and I was like, why are they so calm like that? And I kept asking you, like, I'll Photoshop that, and you were like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I was hungover and drunk and I really couldn't bother.
Yeah, it was good though. I enjoyed the full moon party.
Yeah,
I'd recommend it to anyone. If you're ever in
definitely.
Thailand, you get the
Go,
chance,
yeah.
just go.
Yeah.
The buckets were bizarre. I mean, the drinking out of a bucket
Yeah.
is weird.
Especially a bucket which had his foot in as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You pay extra for that one.
Yeah.
You just drank the water, you
Buckets are such a custom in Thailand that like you don't actually clock it at the time how weird it is,
Yeah.
and then you get away from it. You get to Australia and like I mean you get
£7 a pint. and
yeah
you
£7 a pint, and it's like
You get a whole
in a
bucket
glass like
for what, 2 buckets?
my mum,
That's
that ain't
yeah.
a pint, is it? By the way, that's like a
That could be a bucket.
some sort of.
Put a straw in that.
Maybe. I mean, it's not great. I mean, it's like a bloody modified wine glass. But you don't really clock how ridiculous it is to be drinking out of buckets.
No.
But it is totally like normal.
Them strawberry daiquiris are incredible.
They were good.
And they're big measures in Thailand. as
Yeah.
well.
So Thailand is half and half. Australia.
Why are we still not there?
Australia is
Should
half
we-
the
should we go
UK.
back?
Go back,
Should we
yeah.
go back?
Yeah. What are we doing here? Taxis in Koh Phangan. So the taxis in Koh Phangan, they're either like modified military vehicles.
Yeah.
Or minibuses with air conditioning, and
Yeah.
there's no in between. No, like, every taxi driver wants 100 to go like 5 minutes,
Yeah,
200 to go a little bit further.
Yeah.
Off each one of you.
You could probably bow down to 150 if you want.
So it took us 150 to get from our hotel to the Amsterdam Sunset Bar,
Yeah.
if you remember, and then
Yeah.
the guy at the Amsterdam Sunset Bar wanted 200 to get us 5 minutes down the road to the English pub.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And then we walked a little bit further down that road and we were like 100.
His mate were like, oh,
yeah.
for 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, no. And we were like, yeah, he said 100.
Yeah.
Them taxis are weird. I can still, to this moment, I still can't understand
Just
how.
smell foreigners though, don't they? Can tell.
Yeah, they can sniff you out as being. Yeah,
Yes.
let's get them going here.
Smell.
Yeah, if you'd have been a bit more cultural, maybe they'd have been a bit more understanding and they'd have gone 50 baht. But you know,
Who knows?
On the way back
Go
from
on,
the
Ryan.
jungle party, we were sat in that taxi and they were like 200 baht each. And me and you got 200 baht out, like sat there with 200 baht, like we just want to go home now because it was like a 45-minute walk otherwise. And everyone in the group were like, nope, we're walking. And me and him were just sat there going,
I was walking back for you.
yeah, me and him were just there with 200 baht going, please just let us go home. And they were like, no, we're walking, we're not paying 200 baht each. And we're like, oh, God. So we had to walk 45 minutes back. Jesus.
so I mean, we've gone all the way to Thailand, 6,000 miles away from England, to end up in a pub which is called the Tavern. It used to be called the Mason's Arms.
Yeah.
It was built by a guy from Southampton who modelled it on his favourite pub in Southampton.
Yeah.
So I think we've got them karaoke night.
Yeah.
So it was
Say
karaoke
karaoke
night.
night. It'll pretty much gig Nick's
Nick's
first gig ever.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, because no one else was singing.
Well, no, we go. You,
No one got the chance.
Somebody else. You.
No, it was between
someone else,
me and
you.
James.
James.
Me and the guy
Yeah.
James. So no one else was really. And I mean, all I'm saying here is that I did my work that night because you sang, and you sang all on your own.
Yeah.
So don't call me
Thanks for
Louis
giving us a
Walsh. Don't call me Simon Cowell. But I got you all
So if you
singing.
didn't get up, we wouldn't have got up.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I
I
sang.
probably I had tequila and stuff like that before I got up, so that probably helped more than you getting up first.
I don't know. I mean, like no one was up for it at one point.
It
But
sounds like you just did a couple songs, by the way. When you say like we hardly did any. I think I did 3. You did a couple, and then but Nick's was like 4 or 5 times more than we did.
Me and James did like 10 each.
Yeah, it was
James did this place. He can't defend himself. You did like 20.
You did about
20.
Yeah, we'll give James 10. You did 20.
You
about 4 or 5.
You there, the mic going, we want more. You saying that?
Oh, right.
Turn it around to everyone. Yeah. Who's singing that? Encore. Yeah, go
Go
on.
on, one more.
I mean,
She had to ban you at one point.
all I'm
She
saying-
did actually. She
banned
did
you.
ban you.
Yeah, she did. And look what happened. She lasted one more song and the night was over. So that's her own fault. If you go to them lengths and you try and get rid of what the people want, that's what happens.
What did you sang Mardy Poem?
Mardy Poem. I did a duet with Nick, obviously.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Budapest.
I don't even remember that.
Budapest.
Did
Budapest,
we?
yeah.
And you absolutely smashed She Said.
Yeah, with Plan B. Yeah, did the rap.
And you just did every
Every other.
So I did like about 15 songs.
What did you murder, Harry?
I did I'm Yours.
You did I'm Yours. That was the first one.
Oh, you actually smashed that out of the park, to be fair.
When you say nothing at all as well.
Yeah, it
Of
was.
course, I mean, it's like a classic. I tried to do the accent, but it's hard.
It's hard when you've got your accent to try and do other accents. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to go all the way to like Kopipi, Kopanyan, whatever, and end up in an Irish bar and an English bar, and me and you had fish and
Just
chips.
typical.
Yeah, home company.
I mean, it wasn't cod and chips. I'm not really sure what the fish was.
Oh,
I think it was
so
called
many-
snapper or something
There
like
was
that.
so many bones in that fish. It was
Sea
unreal.
urchin.
Yeah, it was sea urchin, straight fresh out of his foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had sausage and mash and gravy, which were incredible.
Yeah, you had that the next day as well.
The day off,
you were
right?
there,
Yeah,
nice,
you were there.
yeah,
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, but I mean, the bottom line is Thailand was incredible. I'm really pleased that
Oh,
we
we
met
did
you
eat.
guys.
We did eat Thai food. As
Yeah,
well.
there was
It
some
cut
Yeah,
out.
we
Yeah,
But
Couple of
mainly,
curries, couple of food
mainly
noodles,
7-Eleven
stuff like that.
Toasties.
Our food factory.
Yeah,
Food
our
factory,
food
yeah.
factory,
Food factory.
24-hour a day
Yeah.
food place where it was like pizzas,
Live sports on
chicken.
everywhere.
Did you do Thai food as well? I had Thai food there.
Did you?
No, you
Yeah,
didn't.
I did.
Oh,
No, they did do
You had
Thai
some
food.
rice.
I had
You had some
pizza.
rice once.
I had pad Thai dinner.
In
Yeah,
Pad Thai, yeah, they did
I
have.
was there.
We didn't have pad thai.
Oh, no,
That's
chicken in
supposed
that,
to-
yeah.
that chicken.
Yeah.
But even so, I mean, it was Thailand was incredible.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
For me, it's like it's the best place that we've been to in the Southeast Asia region. I really
Definitely,
enjoyed it,
yeah.
and like I say, we met you guys, so it's not all great, but you know, it was nice to be
Gotta
there.
get them in there, I need.
Yeah,
Little
Little
digs,
jabs.
little jabs there, little
Yeah.
jabs. But I'm currently sat with Australia with you, so it can't be that bad.
Well, you followed us.
You pay for flights.
You two
I'm meant to be
followed us,
Gold Coast
but you
now,
know,
look at you.
here we are. It's because of you.
Food.
Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the Couple of Pints podcast.
Yeah.
We appreciate your support of the podcast, and as always, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and subscribe to us on YouTube. That's the important stuff out of the way. Ryan, Harry,
Thank you very much.
George,
Cheers.
thanks for joining us on the Couple of Pints podcast, and we'll see you soon.
Perfect.
Bye.
Thank you.
you.